Arsenal eyeing Dusan Vlahovic transfer in the summer or in the January transfer window, depending on how things are going to move with them this season. Martin Odegaard speaking about the rumor that Fabrizio Romano really put out that a new contract is on the way to be agreed in between him and Arsenal. Declan Rice obviously telling to us what he thinks about Jorginho in that single pivot position of Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? This is the second video of the day and we are yet to bring you more and more and more as you people deserve. So smash the like button close to 400 times, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And Rokan David is my name. Now, Arsenal is really trying to do what we call a further plan for their transfer window, and Ekrem Kona, a transfer expert coming in from Turkey, one of those that has some credible information because most of the stories put up always come to pass, has obviously gone ahead and obviously told us the following about Arsenal. And he has told us that Juventus striker Dusan Vlahovic could be available in the next transfer window, with Arsenal set to renew interest in the 23-year-old Serbia international. That is all about Ekrem Kona. Now, when you look at Arsenal, there has been a very huge question about who is supposed to be leading the number 9, who is supposed to be leading the line of Arsenal. I've seen very many pundits come out calling off Gabriel Jesus, that is not worth to obviously lead the line of Arsenal because he cannot score 20 goals a season. That is it. And that is really a lie, because I think his first season he played as a centre forward was at Arsenal and managed to score 11 goals, and he spent close to 3 months out without playing the game of football. And secondly, I've always argued them out that they are not really basing on facts. You know, how many chances does Arsenal really have to create for Jesus? You know, every time he's on the field of play, it looks like he's the one who is really feeding the others. That's the difference that people don't obviously put into light. But if at all you put that all in limelight, you'll have to respect Jesus. And I think if Arsenal try to create more chances for him, then he'll find himself scoring very many goals. And they should really get him the balls and assists, and obviously he will obviously thrive. By the way, to confirm all that, when you look at the players that really missed the most number of chances in the Premier League last season, Jesus is not even among the top 6 or 7. It shows you that those who scored more goals last season missed out on very many chances. Haaland, Ole Watkins, Ivan Toney, Marcus Rashford, you know, Harry Kane. So you see to it that if you are to score very many goals, you have to get very many chances. That is it. If you don't get very many chances, then there is no way you are going to score very many goals. That is common knowledge. That is common knowledge. And to me, I don't think that Arteta would really think about bringing in Dusan Vlahovic at Arsenal. I know they are looking in for a striker, but the amount of money Dusan Vlahovic will cost for Arsenal, I think, will push them out. However much they've gone ahead to have some good interest in him, but he's not the hottest asset on the market as far as the centre forwards are really concerned. I believe if at all Arsenal will go in for strikers, they might go in for Victor Osimhen next summer to obviously break the bank like they did on Declan Rice, because for Declan Rice they paid close to £105 million. That is close to 120 million euros, an amount of money that if at all you give to Napoli, they'll get you Dusan Vlahovic. That is it. When you look at other strikers that are really firing in all cylinders, there is Evan Ferguson at Brighton. Ole Watkins can also come and will get the job done. Ivan Toney has also been linked to Arsenal. So unless otherwise, Dusan Vlahovic goes back to the form he was on while still playing at Fiorentina. I think that's when Arsenal will obviously get back to him. But I know he's on the list of Arsenal. They've been really scouting him for a very long time. They wanted to sign him in the January transfer window of 2022, but everything never came to pass as Aubameyang really left, and they had a very huge vacuum for them to fill. And finally, he snapped them and went to Juventus. So Arteta looks like he's not that kind of manager who obviously goes back to obviously eat his vomits. I think he vomited Dusan Vlahovic. His agent came out and obviously ridiculed the side of Arsenal that they never at any time went close, yet a bid was in, and all what really put them apart was the agent fees, I think, that Juventus were offering to Dusan Vlahovic, and Dusan Vlahovic wanting to play in the Champions League. And trust me, if Dusan Vlahovic came at Arsenal, he never know, Gabriel Jesus wouldn't have gone ahead to show up at Arsenal. I mean, look at the injuries that Dusan Vlahovic is going through. It shows you exactly where this transfer might end. So we wait and see whether it will come to pass in the summer, but maybe unless Arsenal really get a very serious injury, that's when they're going to think about him. But I don't see Dusan Vlahovic at Arsenal, because this season is yet to produce another center forward who is really going to be so much on market. And I think if Arsenal are looking at players, they are not going to look outside the Prem. They are going to look inside the Prem, because the Prem has strikers that really have some good form, and they're really proven. When you look at Awonyi of Nottingham Forest, is one that obviously gives Arsenal a different dimension altogether. Tall, fast, strong, good in the air. He can obviously come in through at Arsenal for like £50 million, because the team of Nottingham bought him for £17 million. So far he has 3 goals in 4 matches. That is the guy, and he's scoring almost in every match. He scored against Man United. He scored against Sheffield, against Chelsea. That's the only game he never really scored. But I think if Arsenal is to look at forwards, they look at those in the Premier League, because they are going to be those who are really available and cheap. Ivan Toney, I think he'll be on a cheap, because he wouldn't have gone ahead to play some good games, and you don't expect him, even if he returns to January, to hit the ground running and obviously score 20 goals like he did last season. The reason as to why Thomas Frank, the manager of Brentford, came out and really tallied his price tag to £100 million, was because he had fired in 20 goals a season, but with the betting charges, out for 6 months fine, I don't think he still has that. I think his price is now half. And if at all you tell Arsenal £50 million to put it on Ivan Toney, or £70 million to put on Dusan Vlahovic, obviously they'll say, let's go for Ivan Toney, because he's Premier League proven and will give us a different atmosphere altogether. But also, all this depends on Eddie Nketiah's position this season and how he's going to perform. And so far, 4 games played, 2 goals and 1 assist. If he keeps that pace, that means he might see himself hitting double figures in goals. That means it will really change the transfer plan of Arsenal, to obviously see to it that they may be considering Kai Havertz as a centre forward and Leandro Trossard. So Arteta has 4 players that can lead the line for him. So wait and see how that really happens. And I think if there was need for Arsenal to sign a centre forward, why would they let Balogun to go on a permanent deal? They would have gone ahead to loan him and then get him back at the club of Arsenal. So that's it concerning Dusan Vlahovic, and that has been my intake. So your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below. Let's go to Martin Odegaard with stories of him negotiating a new contract at Arsenal looming. He was really asked this while he was at the Norwegian national team, and he replied and said, I don't have much to say apart from the fact that I'm very happy at Arsenal and I hope I can be there for a long time. Now, if I'm Martin Odegaard, the best gift I would give Arsenal would have been to stay at Arsenal until my late 20s. If he gives Arsenal some good 6-7 seasons, that will be something great and rewardable, because he has never enjoyed football in his career like he has at Arsenal. Real Madrid signed him at the age of 16, snubbing Arsenal because Arsene Wenger was interested in signing the player, and he went to the side of Real Madrid. He was loaned to Real Sociedad and then brought back to Real Madrid and he failed. That's where Arsenal came in through and obviously gave him a chance to obviously revive his career. And after reviving his career, obviously Arsenal is the dream for him to be. He's the captain of the team. And I think Mikel Arteta was really wise, because he knew that if at all he never gave him that captain armband, his impotency at the club of Arsenal wouldn't have gone ahead to really be inhaled into the player. But the player now knows what this is all about. It's all about Arsenal, and he has to prove the world right when it comes to the side of Arsenal. And that is it all. He doesn't have to do anything, and Arsenal want to tie him on a longer contract of close to 5 years. And those 5 years will see him really be at around 29 or 30 years of age. So, as it stands, it's all about the man himself. That is Martin Odegaard, wanting a contract and is just waiting for Arsenal to reach an agreement with his agent and entourage as far as his contract and cash are really concerned. And I'm projecting he might be the most expensive player at Arsenal, because to me he's the best player at Arsenal. And if I told Bukayo Saka is earning 280,000, then this man should come in through and obviously earn more and more and more, because he's the hottest asset. And you know, if he happens to get back to the levels he was last season, and obviously happens to score like 15 goals, you know, all 20 goals this season, plus some 10, 15 artists, then it will happen to be like the very best of him, and that's going to escalate his asking price through the roof. He can hit 150 million euros and be one of the most valuable midfielders in the world. That is it. Now, let's go to Declan Rice. Declan Rice was talking to Channel 4, and he discussed about Jorginho, one of the most experienced CDMs at Arsenal, and he said, playing with him every day in training and seeing how he is, because he's not the biggest, his brain, the way it works as a holding midfielder, and I've just been trying to pick up little things of him. He's always in position, always knows when to pass, and always creates himself and always creates time for himself. He's an outstanding trainer, and I've been trying to take little bits from his game as well. I'm trying to learn from everyone. I've got all the abilities myself, and still things to do. Now, when you look at Declan Rice, obviously, if you are to admire who a central defense midfielder would love to be, if I told you what Declan Rice, you'd love to go onto the locker of Jorginho and really borrow out certain attributes of his career, because to me, he's the most conserved. He's the most conserved CDM that Arsenal is really having. You know, his experience comes into play. He's a Champions League winner. He's a Euro winner, and his mentality is really elite when it comes to such things. And he has seen it all. He has played in all situations, and I'm not really surprised with what Rice is talking about, because this question was asked to him or directed to him in a version of which player surprised you most at Arsenal, and he said Jorginho, because the things he does with the ball are really elite. Jorginho is really an elite midfielder, and Arsenal are really having themselves bronze, and having him at Arsenal and Declan Rice learning from him is really gold for Declan Rice. And if at all he borrows most of the things from Jorginho, Rice can obviously go ahead and obviously be one of the most noticed and most performing CDMs in the world. So guys, I call upon for your reactions into Arsenal to revive Dusan Vlahovic interest in the comment section below. What do you make about Declan Rice surprised by Jorginho, and lastly Martin Odegaard speechless about the Arsenal new contract loading? I cover it all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God bless you abundantly. Rokani David remains my name. And see you when you see me, my Muslim viewers and subscribers. Barak Lau Fikum. Ciao, ciao.